He should have sent yeah, here we go. Okay, she's accepted. Hi, welcome to A Legend of All Gamers. We're here, and I know it's not my regular crew. We have a special guest today. She's going to be the owner of the channel, taking it over when, me and him are going to be the face of pretty much channel. She's going to be pretty much here. She's only here today because we have, my friend of mine, which we all know, Zombie Fan. He's pretty much a friend of mine that happens to be dealing with some stuff right now, to moving some private things. He's moving from one house to another, and then he has little things like this. So he couldn't do these last two videos this weekend, so this weekend's kind of busy for him. There's been some other personal things in his life that he doesn't want to really discuss, but he will be here still. He's never going to be replaced. Our goal is eventually make this thing big enough to where she pretty much incorporates the management. We're going to get our licensings and all that stuff later on. She's going to be main caller of all the business, how the business is running, booking, all that good stuff, so we can make it actually official business. Our logos and everything will be branded, and then we are eventually going to get shirts. Hopefully those shirts will actually, we're actually thinking about donating to a cause with those shirts as well. So that way when you guys buy those shirts, something of it goes to a cause. I won't explain the cause right now. I won't give that cause away because, one, I have not done any of the research on it. We haven't done all the final details. We haven't even talked to the companies yet. Right now we're still small, so you got to kind of think this is our plan. So as you guys are watching these videos, you're also going to be, hopefully when you're supporting us, you're supporting them. And we're going to have a good website eventually. But we want to go as legit as possible, as soon as possible, because before we start monetizing these videos, we want to have all those P's and Q's done and already and doing it. And that way I can set up an account and start investing back into it. So whatever's going in from you guys, whatever's coming in there, it's actually investing money back into YouTube. So that is my goal into this channel, to make it better, have better games. When the pre-orders come out, we can actually pay for them free up front. We don't have to wait. Because doing the way we've been doing, it's been kind of struggling. And we're still behind. There's a lot of pre-orders that I still need to pay off, that I need to do for this video, that I haven't been able to pay off yet, and it's killing me. So I'd rather at the beginning of the year, when all these pre-orders coming out, pay them off. Not to mention the new launch of PS5 has been announced. It's going to be opening up in September or early November. They might do early pre-orders as early as a few months early. So those things are coming into it. Xbox is obviously doing theirs, so those things are going to be kind of a chunk of money that I have to get up front right away. I cannot get like one in console and the other. I'm going to have to get both, and that's pulling a little bit of finances on our part, but we're going to have to do it because we have to have the best. We want the best quality. We want the best streaming. We want the best streaming quality for you guys, and we want the fact that we're having a little bit better. The room in the back, don't mind the white wall. It is being fixed. Unfortunately, you'll be able to see all of us, our whole back area. We're going to get a bigger camera that's going to hold up a wider shot. Apparently, the PS5 cameras, the PS4 cameras, not connecting both of her. If you notice, she's kind of cut off right now. But we'll fix that in a minute. Oh, thank you, Skilla. Oh, Anthony, I haven't seen you in so long, man. Love you, bro. I didn't even know you were even going to watch. I guess we're live right now, but I was going to take it off and just do a recording. But I guess this could be a live video for Monday, and it would be recorded for them. I guess that's what I'll do, because it's already going in the night. This game right now, we're doing Kakarot. She has not played it. She's using the same account.
I have kind of played with them.
Played a little bit with it. It's still kind of new to her, so don't mind her. She's not playing on the main account you're seeing. She's playing on the other account that normally follows along. As I said, he's not here, so if you want to kind of scoot into the picture of the camera.
If I could scoot.
I know. I mean, like, if you have to sit on top of me, no, but. I mean, you're just going to have to kind of like, I don't know what is going on with the...
How about we just cut this off right here?
I know, right? Like, seriously. Here, let me see if I can kind of angle it a little bit.
But
there we go.
I can't see you.
No, they can still see me because I can kind of sling in. But now we actually have a camera. I don't know why it's doing that. But as I said, the back wall, don't mind it right now. We're getting good shelves and eventually put my collection back there. So it's a work in progress, people. Yeah, so this is Kakarot. We're in pretty much Saiyan's Major Part 3. This will be a video of us pretty much grinding still because we haven't got to the levels that we want to be at right now.
You get a dinosaur. I don't know what dinosaur.
You have a dinosaur walking around there. You have to go fly around and look. So, your job right now, our job right now is pretty much avoiding all that right now. We don't need all those. What we want to really do is level up our character. So we're going to still continue because you're still level 11. And the goal of Gohan right now, he's going to be your main character for the next few episodes, pretty much. All the way up to even past Namek. Wow. So it goes to that storyline. So you're going to want to fight them and kill them and start just ranking up. As long as you stay away from the back, that red little marker on that token. So people don't go into the thing thinking you have to collect again. If you want to over collect, you can. You don't need to. We just have all these orbs. Yeah, you already have plenty. If you noticed it, we got but you're getting orbs as you're fighting these guys too. So it's not like really anything bad. Now, as I said, there's another area where Gohan's going to go to. It kind of follows the story. So if you ever watched Dragon Ball, you kind of know that he kind of runs home to his mom. So that's when the open world map is really going to come in handy because as you get into the other maps, each map has a different level of characters and different parts of characters. So right now, before you start doing anything with Gohan, I would try to get at least level 15 on your own in this map before you go to the others and level up over there because those are going to probably have a little bit higher bosses, hopefully. Not bosses, but more
difficult.
More higher level machines. Because right now you're fighting level 3 machines. So, and you're going to have a little bit more tasks over there. So, and those are going to give you plenty of experience points. So, being over here in this desert area is the best way. If you noticed it, me and him level up so fast over here in this desert area. So we're going to go all the way back into the desert area. Honey, get away from that desert. Get away from that area. Back up, seriously, back up. Back away from the red and go straight towards the desert area over there. Yeah, go around the red. Do not get near that red. Yeah. So this is my girlfriend, which we all know and love. Us three are really the creators of this. Me, and you also know Zombie Fan, which he doesn't like really sharing his name, which I respect that. Me and him, and really are what started this kind of thing, and then she kind of realized that she would be the manager she wanted to be, because I needed somebody who could handle all the booking, finding out what, we can let her know what we need for the channel, and she can do it. Doing all the taxes, she's better at it, and being the business in her name, it makes it easier for her, one person to just kind of have the business in her name, and she knows it's really important to me, so I know the fact that she'll never burn me on it, so, you know, it's one of those things where we can keep even between me and him as well, so it makes a mediator between us, because as long as she owns it, there's no bad blood between me and him, because we're going to be equally paid, so equally fair. But we both agreed that most of the money is going to go into the channel anyway, and if we start making money later on and then profiting off it later, great. But we just want to have fun. This is something because me and him both just want to have fun right now. So this is why we've really created the videos, so you guys can enjoy with us and enjoy the entertainment that we had. So we're gonna level up him, and remember, you guys can just fly right through them if you really got it. No, I'm not as good as he is. L3 is to fly right through them. You know that, right?
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Thinking you should.
Yeah. So, so how does it feel to play this game, actually? Other than ZBZ Fighters.
I really enjoy it because the first time, well, when I saw you playing it, I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
And I begged you to play it.
I was like, but it's for the channel.
And you're like, no, because it's for the channel.
I need to get you a PS4 on its own. And that's the other thing, too. I have to get ones for the family. too, because pretty much what it is everything's being run off one console, so it's kind of holding up everything. So that's why I kind of want to have our own consoles to play on, and she could play on the PS4 when I get the PS5, and she can just I can use the PS5 for the channel.
Who says you're gonna get a PS4? I mean, who says you're gonna get a PS5?
I have to get one. I have to get one for the channel, so it's gonna have to happen, sweetheart. So.
Well, how about I get one and then I can just share it with you?
Because it's going to the studio.
Yeah, but you can use mine for the studio.
You know, you're hilarious. But no. You're never here, so no!
Doesn't matter. When I want to play, I'll play.
You'll play everything on the PS4 as PS5 can do?
No.
Yeah,
How come you get the new stuff and I don't?
Because I'm streaming, so it actually requires more power to stream out.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
I will get the new toys and you can just get the candy stuff.
Go.
You can get the PS4.
No, the channel needs the best part, and we both know that. We both know that we're going to get the best for the channel. So that's really what it is. Plus, she understands that. So
he just wants all the new toys.
You're so wrong. No, what makes it easier too is that the memory card situation too for us. We could just buy a memory card and be done.
That's always your excuse to do memory card.
No, it's the right one because think about it. It bases off memory card. There's no internal memory anymore. So it makes it easier for us just to download videos and upload them and have plenty of memory space for them, as well as put our games on other memory cards that we want to put our games on. So, you know, it just makes it easier. But nonetheless, we know that this channel, what our goal is to give good quality content and walkthroughs. Yeah, it's boring to see us just grind. Yes. It's boring to see us grind. We know, especially in an RPG. But then again, if you ever play an RPG, that what is technically is, you're going to be grinding regardless. You're going to be mining. You're going to be grabbing ores. You're going to be grabbing gold. You're going to be grabbing enemies to get special weapons and special areas. So that takes all time. It's like hours and hours, and most people don't understand why Warcraft are you guys on it for so long? That's because just to do one chapter in a game, you have to go and grind for like 5 hours just to complete the chapter. It's crazy. It's time consuming, and that's what RPGs are known for. So the fact that this is an RPG, you're not treating it like a normal. Oh yeah, let's go to play Budokai and we're gonna go fight Raditz and be done with it. Now we can go to the next chapter. Now the next story happens. There's no cutscenes. We're actually adding in to these cutscenes by making it happen. We have to level up, which is other ways of leveling up besides just fighting the character and being done and then going to the next guy.
That's not like a fighting game.
No, it's not. And you guys, I know a lot of people weren't expecting that. So, but yeah, this game we've been working pretty hard on it. I think we played more than we've actually aired it. If you really think about it, the way that the mechanics is on this game, it shows that we played, really playtime hours is less, but the recording one, it's like 4 hours. Okay, yeah. You know, so. Yeah, so. And I'm just going to kind of level up. And you're still going to notice that as you're doing this, being level 11 for character is actually pretty good, and you're still knocking down most of it. So you could probably level up a Gohan in this map to level 15 really quickly, and still spend less time me and him leveling up Piccolo and Goku in the time that we did. We spent about 4 hours leveling up them, so this is actually still a little bit less time leveling them up. And if you get really good at this flying thing where you're flying around and just hitting them and hitting them and hitting them and making sure you don't get caught, you're pretty much doing pretty well. Just knocking them down, it's doing it. So, and as you get to the other parts, you're going to get more tokens and soul emblems. And with those soul emblems, you can upgrade your community board for training. When you do that, you're actually making it a little bit more quicker to level up when you're a higher level. And so you're going to get a little bit more bonus stats, so hopefully. One thing I need to tell you though is most people don't know this, but in this game you could actually get gifts from battling some of these kids, some of these dudes. So
enemies.
Yeah, some of them have them. They're like rare, but they do pop up. So I've started seeing it later on. Like, see, you're getting a gear bolt automatically, but you can get these like gifts that help your community level. So. Yeah, so tell me, what what else is positive about this game?
You get to pick your favorite characters?
To a certain degree. You only get 4 characters.
True.
That you get to play with, but you can use they could be your teammates.
Oh, okay.
So, this game is pretty much like, okay, so you have one character, like Gohan right now. Later on, you'll be able to add in Piccolo and Krillin.
So you're basically all the good guys.
Yeah, pretty much, but you're able to add them in to be on your team. And then as you do certain companions, you're going to get Tien, you're going to get Chatsu. All those characters are going to be playable as play-on characters, as what they call party characters, which they're going to be like your support characters. So they're going to support you in battles. They get to fly around with you when you're doing all this. So imagine you're carrying all these guys, right?
Yeah, I kind of noticed.
They're kind of helping.
Piccolo was flying with, I don't remember if it was Goku or Gohan.
Goku for a while, yeah. That was when we were leveling up Goku. And every time you level them up, every time you level your character up, they're getting leveled up too.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out hand in hand with them, especially the party. When the party's fully open, oh my god, you're leveling up super fast with all those characters. Because you're already at a high enough level to beat higher characters. And your characters beating those higher level characters, they're in your party, but they're not in your group support at the time. They're just sitting in your party, available party. They're still getting leveled up because they're still getting those experience points. So you're going to see level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Yeah, I saw the XP points and then you level up.
And then all of them level up. So like even if TN's not in your support group at the time, because you can only have 3 at a time, but they're in your party still. Like the party's still there. Like.
It's kind of like Pokemon Sword.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because if
you still get EXP points even though the Pokemon doesn't.
But unlike Pokemon Sword, you're only getting a certain amount of XP points.
True.
Unlike here, you're getting the same points that you would get on all characters. So if I get 2,000 experience points on Goku, Gohan, yeah, pretty much. That's what I kind of learned. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be changing that soon, but. What it looked like to me, they were getting the same amount of points as everybody else. I have to double check that, but oh yeah, you need to come check out my boy's channel on Skrilla Scan TV. He's a good friend of mine for like I don't know since I was like 17 years old here. I'm like 32 years old. He's I moved from Stockton. I miss him, man. Much love, dude. I haven't seen him. I'm glad he's doing okay. He's more of a comedy. TV. Some of the jokes you have to kind of get if you lived in Stockton, but his jokes are pretty much good. I wouldn't say they're. I don't know if they're pretty much used for all families, all genders across. So, but he makes comedy skits and they're pretty good. They're pretty funny. So good shout out for him. I'm definitely gonna shout him out because I've known him for like so many years, and. I mean, I had plans to do a channel before he ever did, but he was faster at it. So I was like, oh, shoot, he already got out. But yeah, no, I mean, dude, we got to come back and collab sometime, man. You got to come out here or something. Or I got to, like, do a PS4 call or something like that. So let me know if you still have your PlayStation or whatever. I don't know if you're hearing this. And we can kind of collab something together. It'd be kind of cool, man. And kind of introduce your skit TVs to it, and maybe do some like video skits on it for this channel, so that you guys can actually kind of see what he does, and then you guys can kind of come into his channel and see all his new stuff and stuff like that. He's pretty funny. He's really funny. Yeah, so he's a good friend of mine. Really much love. He's worked hard on his channel. Him and his wife. I think him and his wife actually do a lot of it. She is a big supporter of his channel, so she's in it full time with him. I think she's also recording as well. So she's the one and only holding the camera. But yeah, much love to his channel, man, and just support him. So if you ever see Skrill Scant TV, and I'll put it in the comments later. I'll have my friend put it in the comments later to go link to his channel, so you guys can go kind of see him and see how he's doing with his channel. So yeah, it's a little different. I know you guys are gamer fans, but it does kind of open up a little variety too. He's a big time, one of the most closest friends I have. So besides my other friends in California, so I kind of pretty much left that all behind when we came here. We still have them, don't get me wrong, but when we left, pretty much left all my friends. So the fact that I'm able to do this and still see him, still support me is a big thing. So thank you, dude. Yeah, so I'll make sure you get a good shout out and get those things in the description below, and support people, because that's what YouTube is. It's community. It's supporting others' talent. If you got skill, you got skill. And he's got real skill. He's got genuine skill. I think his skill is more unique than just playing a video game, but his skill is good. So, go to his channel, go support. He's got a few videos. Go watch him. If you guys like him, support him. And make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like button on his channel. Let him know that you guys got love. I know a lot of these people are from that we're talking to now is totally from a different genre, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're having a channel, you're having a channel. If you're supporting, you're supporting. So there's other people I want to kind of always add in, but I want to get permission first if I can give a shout out to them. A lot of them have taught me how to use by watching them, have taught me how to do and get where I'm at into learning how to do the channel. So a lot of those, I think me and him want to go around and get a list one day. I think we'll make a separate video for that. But it's just a list of people that really kind of, as me and him were watching videos, kind of learn how to do it the right way, even though we have our mistakes. So just having that support and having it as a, I don't know what you would say, as a guideline to what you need to do for your channel, they work. And I think the more people, if it works for me, and it worked for me, I think it gives me a right. I have to do it out of my kindness of my heart. It would be wrong of me not to support them and give a shout out to their channel, because they're putting so much hard work to help you guys build channels. It could be totally different. People are so GD these days. They can always easily not help you build a channel. They can be making so much money. They've already baked their money. They're already making millions, and they could be spending their time just making videos for themselves and not help you guys at all, and not give them their secrets and not give them their ideas and how they did it. And it does help. And I mean, there's a few people that we've watched on our channel, so giving a good shout out to Scarlet TV, and he does this pretty much stuff. I mean, obviously I didn't use his, but there is some other people that I actually watched over the years that I just varieties of channels. It wasn't just gaming. It wasn't just it was all the other channels. Whether it was RV channels, whether it was what was else? What I was watching? I was watching every channel on the man. Drama channels, funny channels, Fortnite channels. All these different things that just kind of gave a variety to that. And I don't want it to be like a clickbait thing. I want it to really mean something. So I think creating a channel saying thanks to all those people and saying their names for their channels and telling you guys to go subscribe to them, and us having a personal thanks. And I think even trying to find out their P.O. box numbers so we can give cards to those people, because if it wasn't for them, I really wouldn't think I could do this channel. Me and him couldn't do this channel. I mean, a lot of big things goes to actually my friend Zombie Fan, because he actually is an editor. He really just edits everything. I cannot do half the stuff he's doing, and he's doing it so fast and so quick. And he's taking his time, and it takes a lot of work and effort to do what he's doing, as well as be on the camera. And he's able to do that. I'm the talker. I'm the talker pretty much, but I'm the idealist in a way too. But it's kind of like he's got that view, dude. He's got that same drive as I do. I think part of it's because we're both Aquarius, so kind of worked out.
We're gonna talk about astrology now.
But it does. If you think about it, we're both that same way. It's a simple mind. But even then, without astrology, we're just that way. He's very creative. He's very, very creative. And the stuff, all the thumbnails really came from what he was really thinking of doing. Yeah. All the editing at the end of the videos, how we edited our first videos with the play share, which we really love doing. We just can't really seem to upload a video that we aired here and record it into a play share and then bring it back to PS5. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to broadcast a video and it being broadcasted straight to, and it records straight to YouTube, and then you can't really edit in freaking play share. We have still figured out how to bring a video from a computer to play share and use their software to edit, even though we freaking recorded with the PlayStation camera. Yeah. So that's something really PlayStation really needs to figure out how to do. I'm thinking about just sending it to myself, like somehow send that video to a PlayStation, download it to the PlayStation, and then say, hey, this is the video, boom. All right, maybe edit it from there and then add in our signature. Right now he's working on a new opening, and he's found a few of them. But I think he's waiting till we pay for the other one, which is like $35 a month. So it's to create any openings. Remember you remember the Star Wars one, right? Mm-hmm. That one was for free, but the problem is the one he really likes is one that's unique and it's completely built for the channel, and it's something we both fell in love with. But the problem is it's not for free. So apparently when we thought everything was for free, you have to pay for our plan. And the plan, there's free ones and then there's plan ones. So that's the issue. So by paying $35 but we're also getting a portfolio too, and we're also getting other things. Yeah, we're also getting other things that actually build it, and we could actually probably build up. We can actually get a website as well. Build a website through it. So by paying it $35, we're actually giving two birds in stone, where we can actually create a website from that area as well, and then add in what we need to add in for what we're selling and all that stuff too. Yeah. Guys, we eventually, as money comes into this channel and we get this channel, we do want to give giveaways. We do want to do things separately for things like that. We do want to do like big time events, big time things, and just to make this channel really fun and make sure you guys play it. Right? It's a game that we're playing, and we have 3 or 4 copies of. I plan on having multiple copies anyway because I want one copy strictly sealed in my collection for every game that I have. And then the other copies, we obviously need 2 copies, one for him and one for me. Yeah. But those ones are open, but we might get another sealed copy just for other people to give away every month. You know, some kind of thing like that. So you guys can pick a game you guys like, or at the end of each game that we finish, we come up with a copy for Xbox and for PS4 or PC. And the winner gets to choose what they have, and then we go out and get that copy for them. Just because we want them to feel like they have, we make sure we have them to have it, and we'll mail it over to you guys and things like that. Make sure it's priority and first class shipping and protected. That you got to sign for it. So make sure you're at your doors if you do that. That is because we don't want people trying to get them for the games. We don't want to do codes because anybody can look at the screen and get the code. We want to make it easier just to give you the game and give you a digital copy, because we know physical copy. Because the one thing I do love about, yes, it's digital, that's great, but physical copies you don't have to worry about, especially if there's a warranty on them, especially if you don't have to worry about anything, because a physical copy can always be downloaded with the game. But once you're done with the physical copy, you have that to remember. You always have that copy to remember. And we'll add in a few little extra things if we do a giveaway for that. We'll throw in some things too. But later on, we want to kind of, maybe from our website as well. Like maybe you'll get a free shirt and some lanyard or whatever. Whatever we just got, whatever we're kind of sell on there. But yeah, it's just, it's really great. And we just want you guys to feel like you're loved here as well, and that you guys want to play the games that we play. We're playing them because I know you guys want to play. We play them because you're watching them, because you guys do want to play them eventually. And you guys can go your own route with it. You already know where all the secrets are at. You always have a heads up when you get the game. Now, if you already have a game, great. Great. You can have another one for your collection that's closed and sealed. So it doesn't matter. But we're hoping we pick people who don't have the game, because it's unlike for someone who already has the money to buy games. There's a lot of people out there who don't have that. I kind of want to like do things for that too. Like people who don't have something, find them who they are, find out things they don't have, verify that they don't have those things. Because I'm not gonna just like believe you if you say you don't have it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure you don't have it. I'm gonna make sure you've never had it. And there's ways to find that out. And then plan maybe a visit or something over there, and me and him fly out over there or whatever. And go do what we gotta go to video it, and we video it on camera, live camera, doing what we're doing, saying, hey, we're at this person's house, we're here to help you out, you've won this challenge, you won the thing, and some of those things that we want to do too, like maybe those will be the bigger ones, like maybe a console or something, or a setup or something like that the money can afford. If we have extra money in the channel that we can afford, that'd be pretty cool. So to give back, especially to people who who really deserve it, people who are struggling like me, because I don't think I really went into this, guys. I struggled for years before I could even get a console back again when I was an adult. I didn't make a lot. I'm on Social Security, so you can imagine. And I was living in a place where it took 70% or 90% of my freaking profit just to rent alone. And that's with the bills and everything. When you add that up, you can only save like $10 a day to get a PS3. And I swear, I had literally said $10 a day to get a PS3. And then when I had more money saved up, I could then upgrade it by trading my old console in. And it took me 3 years before I got a PS4, after the PS4 came out. So a lot of this it was a lot of hard work before I could even get where I'm at. And when I was able to start making more money and living somewhere else, I was able to put more and more games. And then my original old console, I think it was my original old game room, the one before this one, was way huger. We had, I don't know, how much things did I have, honey?
We had a lot of pops. We had a lot of games.
I had collector's editions, like 6 or 5 collector's editions sitting in the background. And that was just starting. And I had PS4 and Xbox, not to mention Nintendo as well. So I was pretty close to collecting over like a couple grand worth of stuff, and it was all in good condition. I made sure it was, nothing was sealed, but I wanted to get things sealed too. I wanted things that I could play and then seal. So, but my goal is to have a game room again, a real one that I can lock away and have it on display in my warehouse and put them in display cases and lock them up so nobody steals them, obviously. But those I know for sure will be under lock and key, and everything I have will just be displayed. And it will help me remember my childhood, because my childhood was nothing but collecting games. That was the main thing. Comic books, games. I think action figures were one of my other ones. I think I did a lot of Batman stuff when it came to collections. And a lot of my stuff would have been worth a lot of money if I didn't make those mistakes and selling them to my brother or whatever, giving them to my brother. No, like figures.
Yeah, dolls.
Yeah, no, action figures.
Dolls.
Well, no, not for guys. Fucking, that's girls' shit. I mean, you girls had your, like, what was it? What did you girls have? You guys had, like, Power Punch, Barbie, what was it? No, it was
Powder Puff?
No, what was the ones that were actually literally most expensive? It was porcelain dolls, wasn't it? And it was strawberry something. Those were the ones that were big bucks back then in the 90s. There was
I
a
had
lot.
a collection of porcelain dolls.
And then how much do you think they're worth now?
I don't know. They were like, well, actual porcelain dolls.
You know who actually got me into collecting video games and stuff like that? My aunt. My aunt was a big time collector of trolls. Remember those little trolls with the big hairs? Super trolls, like super haired up. And she had also another original Nintendo again. When ours broke, so we used to go to her house to play it.
Oh, you're talking about that.
I used to make excuses to go to her house after school. Why are you here? I'm like, I finished my homework. I'm just trying to go over here and play a game. But I love you. Feed me.
If I was your mother, I would know you're bullshitting.
It was my mother. It was my aunt. I just figured out some kind of excuse.
Well, I'm saying if I was your mother, I wouldn't know why you were going over there.
Oh, well, she knew I was going over there, but she didn't know.
She didn't say nothing?
She didn't know. My aunt didn't care because my aunt would always cover for me and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna spend time with my nephew or my nephew." And she's like, "Okay."
Oh wow.
But she kind of figured out what I was really doing. But she also knew my homework was done, so she didn't really care. As long as I didn't miss soccer practice, that really didn't really matter. But she did get mad a couple times because I was never really home. And she realized that my mom. It wasn't until like I think the third month when she realized that my aunt had the same fucking console that we did, the Nintendo NES, and she's like, "No wonder he's not here." I'm like, and she started to miss it because you know what I did? I was taking games that we used to have when our console broke, and I used to have Ninja Turtles. I used to Tetris. We used to play Tetris. Me and my aunt were like big time Tetris friends. We would dominate in Tetris. My dad and my aunt used to play together when they were kids, but Tetris was like one of our things. But then I started playing other games too over there, Wheel of Fortune and all that stuff. That was huge. And so we were playing, and my mom started looking in the garage, and one day she noticed that my freaking games were missing. She goes, "Honey, where?" Or it wasn't my games, it was my dad's games. She goes, "Honey, where are your games? They're like missing like half a stack." My dad comes home, he's like, "I don't know, what the heck?" And then they start putting two and two together. My dad actually remembered my grand had a freaking NES too. And it was so sad because my dad remembered it. It was like, and then she started putting two together. My mom called my aunt, goes, "Has my son been over at your house playing NES?" "Yes, but he's been going to church and everything too." So it's like, okay. And she kind of got mad, but then she kind of understood. It's like, because what happened to our NES was unfair, like literally. Wow. So supposedly, I don't know. My cousin's hella good at fixing things. Like he built his own Mustang from like. He took the body of a Mustang at the age of 16, like a 1996 body frame, Oz Mustang, somewhere around there, like the old muscle ones. He took it and he made. He built it from scratch, pretty much in his garage. So if anybody was going to fix my console, that we didn't know, it was going to be him. He started trying to figure out everything. No matter what we did, when we put a game in, it just wouldn't read. The Nintendo had an issue with a defective device where it was, at the time, the NES wasn't being sold anymore. But the issue with that device was that it had an issue dying out eventually. Like the lifespan just died out. Like it was like a dead source or something. Like there was it was like if you had a death ring inside the Xbox 360. Remember the death ring for the 660? If you ever got a red, you're like, oh shit. You know, you were hoping it was just a red with the with the fact that it was just your power cable. No, but if it was the ring of death, you were like, no. Unfortunately, unlike Microsoft, if you did have the ring of death, they were making plenty of those, right? Still, unfortunately, when that issue was happening, it was already in the early 90s when the NES was already done for. So they were already in the Super Nintendo, already had the Super Nintendo out. They already had the 64 almost kind of out. So it was kind of like, damn, we couldn't do nothing about it. Like, if it wasn't for if my cousin can't fix it, then it was pretty much done. And it was done. And I was really broken because that's what kind of kept me out of trouble when I was a kid. And after the NES, it just, after my mom said I couldn't play the NES no more, I kind of pretty much, I don't know, it sounds kind of stupid and gay, but eventually I started getting in trouble. Like, eventually, not because I didn't play the NES, but because I had to communicate with other people out in the public and at my school when I had a whole bunch of bullies to deal with in the first place. So this was a way of getting away from the bullies and playing my games and still being happy and staying out of trouble. And I explained that to my aunt. My aunt understood that. I think my aunt was the very first one that understood that. But my mom was like, my mom was thinking like a teacher, not like a mother. And I think that was her issue when we did that. Like, she was more thinking like a teacher because she was a teacher when she adopted us. She wasn't really a mother first. You know what I mean? It would have been different, I think, if I ever came out of her womb, because then she would have thought more differently about, I think there's a special moment and attachment to that sticks into that before you adopt. I mean, yeah, adoptions are great, and if you ever want a child, great. I know some mothers can have that ability, but I think my mom was just not one of them. My mom was more of, you know, I'm gonna use the experience from my school students to treat you like a student from school. And that's why most of the stuff that we were able to do were not, you know, that's why school was very pushed on us. That's why schoolwork was pushed on us, and that's why things were done a certain way with our family. And it was okay. It worked. I mean, it helped, but it helped my brother and sister too. But for someone like me, it just threw me off. Like, if I was already done with school, what did I want to do school home? You know, and school never was really good for me. I mean, I was bullied a lot. I was super bullied to the point where back then you didn't have the protections you have now. I mean, they're not doing those laws. Back then, it didn't matter. If the kid had a good family, it didn't matter. They went by, the schools went by, if your family was rich, they didn't say nothing to you. If your family had a good money into the school, they didn't say nothing to you. It didn't matter if it was private school or public school. If your family did anything for the school, you were pretty much a prize child, and that meant your other children who weren't like that, their reputation was just, oh well, I'm not going to do nothing for him because he doesn't do nothing for the school. So they just allowed it to happen. Teachers used to stand by and not even get involved. Like, you ever see those videos when the school teachers started getting involved with fighting? They started getting involved and started trying to stop fights and stuff, and they would get fired for stopping a fight, or they're attacking on the kids and all that. Well, there was a time where they never did that. And they never did that. Like, when my teachers saw fights between us, they never separated us. They just stood there and watched. Literally. So while I'm getting jumped on by 6 kids, they just stand there. They don't say nothing, they don't do nothing.
That's sad.
And I'm looking right at them. And so as a kid, when you're looking right at that, like, what's going to go through your head, man? Like, it's kind of like when you're, you have daughters, right? If they're looking right at us when somebody's jumping them, they're expecting us to do something, and we just don't do nothing. They're going to lose all faith in us. Like, it's heartbroken the minute that happens. Doing it one time is just bad enough. Doing it multiple times, realizing that the person that's there supposed to protect you is not protecting you, is not okay. And I think schools didn't really get that hint. And they were treating us like, oh, we're going to punish you too because you kind of started it. And I was like, no, I didn't start it. And even though I didn't start it, it was most of it because I hit back. Not because I eventually started hitting back, I started getting in trouble. And it's like, because I was like, well, okay, you guys ain't doing nothing. If anything, I can get you guys for child abusement because you guys are letting it happen. And cops would come to the thing and try to explain the situation, but cops were limited because it was a school. And I'm like, well, so eventually what I did was I got to know the chief of police eventually, and I pretty much transferred schools, but he pretty much came back there years later and pretty much did something about that school, about them not standing their ground for protecting kids, because under LOAG and all, when I guess there was something that we didn't know, but teachers are obligated when they're under full care of students, they're obligated by law to actually make sure they're safe at all times. So that means that they have to step in to make sure the child's safe. They have to make sure the child's safe at all times. By not doing so, it's a federal crime. Mm-hmm. Because, here, think about it. We're required by law to send our kids to school, right? If we don't, it's what? Felonies, right? Prison time, all that shit. Well, you can't expect a parent to follow law if you're not going to if the parent doesn't feel safe to get their kids. Because under parent rights, you have a right to protect your child at any means cost, right? If that means not going to school, then yeah. So what makes you think anybody's going to follow that law, and you can judge them for that when your school's got history of not even protecting your kids? So that was the big issue, and I think me and some other kids, and when bullying was really, really worse than what it is now, tragedy happens, but it didn't have as much protection. Like before, they didn't have no bullying policy at all. But some schools still have this thing printed in them. If you ever go to a rich school, if your family's richer than the other one, you're obviously going to have more leeway with the principal than you are going to be in the office. It is common sense. It's a common thing because they don't want to piss off the rich family, because if you piss off a rich family, there goes your funding.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, in order for school survival, they're thinking about the school survival instead of the kids. That's why I think the whole law for schools to be mandatory for kids, I agree, kids need to learn, but I think they need to change up how they do their laws about that. And I think they either need to change schools, how the schools work and operate, or they need to change itself, how they handle kids, and what there's not allowed and what is allowed. And if it's ever caught that a teacher or a principal is favoring one kid than the other just because of money, they're immediately fired. And it needs to be backed in. It needs to be backed in to where teachers make more money than the faculty. because it's not the faculty that makes the job easy. It's not them you can get paid, what is it? You get paid triple than what you do as a teacher, sitting on a desk every day and filling out some paperwork for about a few hours a day. And that paperwork is just answering phone calls and filling out some mindless paperwork that takes 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all they're really doing. And then they're sitting in the office and doing some meetings. That's really what it comes down to. Compared to the person that's sitting there doing with the kids.
Me who used to kind of do that job.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got, what, when you were working with your kids, how many times did you have to intervene, and how much would you feel like you should have been paid for that? How much do you think you should be bringing home? And then come to find out that your faculty boss just got a 30% raise or 60% raise, and he's not even at the school. He's just a director of all the schools, which he's barely doing anything by showing his face and saying, hey, yeah, do this, and that's it. He has no idea what's going in that school. It's like you can't come home and no other parent can tell you how to raise your kid because you're not there with that kid. Mm-hmm. It's like I can't go over to somebody else's kid and tell them, hey, you need to raise them like this, you need to raise them like this. You have no idea what that kid's going through. You don't have no idea what that kid is, what his life is. You don't have anything to do with that kid. Mm-hmm. So how can you tell a mother or a father who's never been in the same role? You think that's what the same rules they've been giving? Oh, you can't tell a teacher how to be a teacher because obviously you've never been a teacher. Oh yeah, but we've been experienced to it when we were young. Yeah, you got somewhat training of it. You go into it for a few months, but they already dictated that you were going to be the principal. They already dictated you're going to be this. So you have to do certain amount of hours for this. But you skimmed by them because you already had a job guaranteed. It wasn't like, like you who had a job, and if you ever wanted a personal principal, it wouldn't be like guaranteed to you. You would actually have to fight for it. You know what I mean?
Well, to be a principal, you have to study a lot of stuff.
Studying doesn't get you anywhere. You can study a whole book of biology, right? But until you open the freaking anatomy, you still don't know half the shit of anatomy.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that you have to have a degree to be a principal.
It doesn't matter what degree you want to be in principal. Degrees don't change kids. Degrees don't teach kids. Degrees
don't. Degrees just show that you studied for it and
you studied for how to have. But the one thing you're freaking lacking is how do you cope with kids who are struggling? Yeah, how do you cope with kids? Yeah, exactly. Situations. How do you cope with kids who come from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, who have different troubles, different things?
All a degree really says is you studied it, you passed it, and you knew what you're talking about.
You knew what you're talking about, but you don't know what you're doing with each situation. I can grab 20 million therapists that still don't know nothing about their patients as much as they claim they do. A doctor cannot dictate.
I don't disagree with you on that.
And that's because this world has dictated themselves on so much degree this, degree this, degree this. Yeah, degrees helped back in the early 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s, when we went to NASA, when we went to scientists, went up to space. But guess how they actually became famous? They actually went to space. If they didn't go to space, could they ever claim what they claim now? You know what I mean? So that's the whole point.
The point is they actually did it.
They actually went through the process. They actually experienced it. And the only ones who could ever tell you the real experiences are not the ones behind the desk who were sitting on Earth at the time. They can tell you what they saw and what they watched. But the person sitting over there telling you what it's like to drop in zero gravity is the one person that actually stepped on that fucking ground. Mm-hmm. And so for me to sit there and say, I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this, because when you come back to bullying and all this, it's funny how many teachers say, oh, well, I got a degree in this. Yeah, but you have never studied. Half these teachers are not parents. Half these teachers are not, are doing this for a paycheck. I'm sorry to say this. Most of these teachers are doing it for a paycheck. And it's sad. But some teachers, and I know there's a great few of them, that will actually do the work, and regardless of what they're paid, they're doing it because they care and love about their students. And that's one thing I gotta give my mom. My mom strictly cared about her students. She worked with artists, kids like my situation, like disabled kids and all that shit. And she worked with them quite frankly, but she always had a heart for them. I mean, I never knew how passionate those kids were to my mom until the funeral happened, like when she died and stuff. I was so grateful for her because she had doing it for years before she even had us. So that was, I knew that she had some kind of, love for those kids. And it showed. It shows, really. She was a great teacher. But do I think she was getting paid fairly? If she was getting paid fairly right now, we'd be rich. My parents would have been so rich that they'd be sitting in a mansion right now, because that's how much they're paying your faculty staff, and they're sitting over there with fucking Porsches and everything, and we're sitting over here. My dad's sitting over here still working and trying to get, and doing his job. And it's not, no, it was still they were struggling. It was imaginable just to maintain a house, barely maintain a house. So it wasn't easy as it was, and that's why I don't really rely on degrees anymore, because degrees don't teach you nothing besides, yeah, you've done the skill. Now, if you need to learn something in school that you haven't done, and it's a trade, and you want to learn how to be a mechanic, go to fucking school for it, yes. Get your degree in that. If you want to be a doctor, do it, because get a degree, because you're going to need a degree, at least something. But don't think that degree is going to be your holy grail, because I guarantee once you become a doctor, in order for you to become even close to a doctor, or considered a real doctor to a hospital's eyes, you have to go through a series of actually in-person tests. And these tests are not to test how much experience you have in your books. These tests are how you're going to experience on the field when they say, oh yeah, I registered and signed off that this person can be our next doctor. Congratulations, you are now a doctor. Because they're not going to, no doctor's going to sign another doctor based on your scares and stats. They're going to want to know exactly how you handle it when you handle blood, when you handle blood, when you handle this. It's funny, because if you ever go to like a donation center, right? Didn't you tell me that CSL Plasma freaking they're hired by high school students?
No, what I was saying was that you really don't need any kind of training for it. I mean, they train you for it, but all you need is a high school diploma.
And that to me strikes me as illegal, because if you do anything with somebody's veins or bloods or anything like that, you blow up a vein on somebody, it's a life or death situation. It's not a, oh, here, we're going to take you to the hospital to get checked out. No, you will die. I mean, there are so many things you have to learn to be a nurse. I can tell you this.
That's what a lady told me.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's true or not, but if it's anything true. Imagine this. I used to live in a place where we had like college living for ULP, University of Pacific, and I think they were like okay. I talked to a friend of mine, somebody in there. I was like, she's working on summers, dude. She's literally working on summers. And they're like, isn't it summer break? She goes, no, I'm a nurse, so I have to study this and actually pass all these things before I can even be considered a nurse. You cannot do anything. She goes, yeah, it's illegal to do anything to a human body without the protection of the nursing, which is the law for schools. Like, they have certain licensings underneath there that allow them to do that. But a business cannot use anybody who does not have a degree in nursing. And learn how to be an RN. And my other friend who was learning to be an RN, she had to go through training. She had to get a degree and then go through training and years on training, on physical, off in books and on staff. You cannot just become a nurse and say you're a nurse. And it's not like, oh yeah, we're just going to stand you and let you do this by yourself. You actually have someone shouting you every step of the way. For every student, there is a staff member. They're not just letting you just do this, you know what I mean? And UOP was the only one close because you're at a college. They had dentistry, right? Like, even for the dentistry ones, they had a dentistry place, but it was you're grabbing they had staff there that gave that license to, and they all passed a certain area at bars. They still had to pass licensing codes to actually do it. They weren't just allowed to just stick you in and say, oh yeah, we'll train you, but we're going to train you. No, there's no training. There was exactly you're getting through your books, and you've already been like a senior in your college before you can even do that. They'll take on college, but never would a hospital ever say it's okay, or a doctor's office will ever say give you a high school schooler a chance to say, hey, you haven't been to college and you're over here being a nurse. You're not. You don't know nothing about the anatomy enough to even begin to it. To even begin to what you're doing. And that's why I've been so many times hurt over there. And I'm sick of it, because it's trusting. I can tell. It's not safe. I mean, I'm going to get sick one of these days.
Where's Jackson? Oh, yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the point. Like, there's reasons why schools do that, but I was saying is that I do have a big heart for fighting against bullies and standing up for the little guy, and I believe that people who don't have a lot of money, or things that I struggled with, like when it comes to money and wanting to play games and get you out of trouble, I believe in totally helping them out. Totally helping them out completely, and working hard. So that's what our goal is, and we want people to have positive here. So yeah, there's a lot of negative that happen, and there's a lot of reasons why we are doing the way we're doing it. And we know that there's a lot of, and even though I may sound like I'm hating on those companies, great, well, I'm sorry, but the point is being that we have to face reality sometimes. And reality is nothing gets done unless we put the effort into it. And those people who don't have the backup that I eventually once got or never got will wind up almost in the same livelihood that I almost did, and it could be bad. So I think believing in this and putting time into it, this does help in my case. This does, me doing this part, me doing this helps my disabilities. It's helping myself as well. It's giving me a project. It's giving me something I can be proud of and leave behind for my kids or my family or whatever. It's something I can do to give back to the community as well, and hopefully use it as an outreach in a way that I know how to use my skills and to use it. But yeah, as you notice, I've been trying to level up here. It's taking a while because, but we're getting it. So I'm almost level 12. So we're gonna go into level 12 and get to that. It's almost an hour into our go. We want to at least be level 15 before, and then once we get to level 15, I think that's when we're going to stop. We may stop at level 14 or 13 and then come back again tomorrow. So we'll see for Wednesday. I know you are. I know. Susan's not used to this. She's not used to this, and she does work double shifts. And it's unfortunate, but that's what we have to do. We have to give you guys the full scope of this. You kind of guys know that we're just kind of killing enemies right now, and we kind of want to make sure you guys see that, so that way you guys don't think we're just jumping from level to level and showing you our upper level and saying, how did we do this? It's because actually the only way to do this to get to level 15 in this map is to actually beat these guys. So just be patient. You want to be level 15 to jump Piccolo, because you cannot beat Piccolo at level 15 unless you're level 15. He is level 15 as it is, so, or level 16. So remember, because we powered up. What happened was we powered up Piccolo to level 16, and then your next task is to battle Piccolo as Gohan. So if you're like level 12 or 11, you're not going to beat him, or you're going to have a hard time beating him. So yeah, I know. So getting to level 12, so try to get to level 12. Just keep on fighting.
Oh my god.
You're close. Look at your character. No, look at your character. Go look at your characters. Okay, so how you go? Go to character. Press start, or press your option button. No, not that. Press your option button. She's not, this is why we normally do, me and him do it.
I am not a night person, I'm a morning person.
Oh my god, honey. What are you doing? I've been talking and doing it at the same time, closer to you. Me and him started out at the same place.
I've been doing it too.
But you haven't been mashing through them, have you?
No. I have.
Oh my god, okay. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to get my character level 15. She's going to get it to whatever level it is, and I'm going to have him come back and catch up later.
I'm just so tired for this.
You have to go to the desert and stay in the desert. You're flying around too much, that's why.
No.
Go to your desert. They're all popped up right there. They're going to all respawn.
Oh, I've been going around looking for different ones.
No. They're all the same level. They're all going to be the same one. They're going to reappear. Just bash in and let them reappear. As long as you don't get caught and they don't stop you from flying around like that in L3 when you do it, they're not going to do it. So wait till they spawn in and hit them. Track them and hit them. Now track them. Hit them. L3. Nope. You're supposed to press L3 before they come to you.
What L3?
L3 is this. It's a click. It's a click. You just click the stick. Click the stick, baby.
I know I did.
See?
I'm tired, I told you that.
Yeah, but you didn't know that.
No.
You didn't know how to use it.
I was playing around with the L3.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the whole point of playing around with the L3 is actually hitting them with it. or trying to hit him with it. And use your L2 to kind of control the camera. Control your steering when you're flying. Don't turn with the L1 stick. Control your turning with the other. See, use this control and this to just fly.
I will do it how I want.
Okay, well it's faster if you do it the other way.
Well, I will do it how I want.
I'll have him catch up 5 levels on his own. It would be actually kind of funny because actually I had to do that myself, so.
You messed up, so. Sure.
Yeah, but you're quite not equipped for that one. This is why you're becoming the manager, baby.
No, I'm not equipped for
You're becoming the owner.
I'm not equipped for it because I'm not used to staying up late.
That too, and you're not used to playing the game.
No, because you haven't played.
Yeah, that's true too. We haven't been able to play because everything we have to do is pretty much on the channel. We can't like skip a scene, so it's not my point. It's not my point. Once we get another PS4, or once we get the PS5, you can handle the PS4, and I'll run this game on there, and I'll buy you another copy. And you can use another copy to play the game the way you want. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind giving you this PS4 once I transfer all the data. And you can still crossplay with me too, so it's not a bad thing. So yeah.
I think I can handle this.
I don't want to hear
Music?
Music? Is it coming from his bag?
Is he calling me?
No. Oh, it's your music.
What the hell did you press, girl?
I did not. No, I did not touch your thing.
Oh. That's funny. I should have worn my Batman shirt with you. That would have been hilarious.
Batman shirt?
My Batman shirt with your K-pop shirt, or your Catwoman too. Cuz, what a cool thing. Come on, be fun.
I'm dead inside.
You're dead inside. If you guys want to give her anything, she's a good fan of. What are you a fan of?
What?
If you ever want to get gifts from somebody, what would you be a fan of for them? Tell them what you're a fan of. Thor and Amazon and all that. Oh, that Marvel game's coming out, but it got delayed.
Avengers.
Yes.
Oh, and it was called Gods and Monsters, not Gods and whatever the heck. God versus Monsters, you said.
Oh, well, whoever cares, I'm still going to get it because it's still been delayed, though.
I'm going to get it, man.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it for you.
You're going to say the same thing about Code
I'm trying to, baby!
I'll get it for you.
We're trying here.
And who ends up getting it?
I know.
Myself.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, things take time for me to get things. You know that. I don't have the infinite supply of 2 jobs. Worth of money. If they paid me like they paying you right now.
That's why I die inside.
You know what? You think they would? If they would have paid me $2,000 a month, I'd be happy too. But they don't.
What about if you didn't marry me?
Well, then I get less. I lose everything, pretty much. Because the more you make, the less I make.
Not if I claim something.
I think I can handle this.
Claim what? Oh.
You're like, you made me crazy.
What the hell? No. But then it's $26,000 a year and you can't work. And you'll be in the same boat that I am. Which is pointless. You're better off doing what you're doing than paying off your 401k.
Yeah, but it's not worth it.
Well.
Because I have to get up every morning. And I don't get to sleep.
I feel like you're more lazier than I would ever be. Because I had no problem
getting
up.
It's not laziness.
It is.
It's not laziness.
I never complained about getting up early in the morning. I just wait.
Yeah, you have.
When I was working with Carlos, no.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh yeah, after a while, after like 10 years of doing the exact same shit over and over again.
Not just that, but like when you would have to take me to work.
Oh yeah, but now it's because I'm like fucking dead, dude. I'm exhausted. Like I've done 10 years of just giving back to everyone else. I've been giving everybody everything I have, and it's like eventually, what the hell?
You're all over dead.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm beyond my skeleton, man. I'm beyond my skeleton.
Beyond your skeleton?
I'm beyond my skeleton.
You got a skeleton in your closet?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
He's awesome. His
How
name's
come you
Billy.
didn't tell me?
His name's Billy.
Oh, that's a horrible name. Poor skeleton. Why not name him Chuck?
Because Billy was awesome.
No, I hate Billy. Billy's a horrible name.
Well.
For skeleton.
Well, I'm sorry.
You picked the
Billy the
worst-
Bone. Billy
You
the
picked the
Bone.
worst name.
Good, I'm glad. It was my skeleton, not yours, so.
Don't name children or pets.
Oh, there you go. Well, should I tell them that we're planning on naming our kids Gohan if it's a boy?
No. Because I have not consented to that.
You have consented to that. You know,
No, I have not consented to that.
Yes, you did.
The only reason I said okay was because a girl's big.
That's awesome.
If you didn't if my girls did not love you, and I would still say no.
The girls loved it. It was so funny because they weren't into anime. They didn't know nothing about Dragon Ball Z, so I set them down and made them watch Dragon Ball Z. And they got into it. Now they want everybody to go on and go on.
You know what? Why don't you go change your name to Goku instead, Jackson?
Okay, then you gotta change your name to Chi-Chi.
Oh hell no! That's the worst name ever.
Son Goku.
No,
that's his name. Son Goku. And then Son Gohan. That's how they call it. That's how they pronouncedly call it. Unless I can just totally change it and you call yourself Bulma and then I will be Goku. We change the whole series and we say that Goku actually wound up going up with Gohan and Bulma anyway.
Why don't you just change my name?
Which I never thought why they
Why don't you just change my name to Milk Dud in that case?
Milk Duds? What the heck is Milk Duds?
You don't know what Milk Duds are?
No, I know what they are, but why the hell would you name yourself Milk Duds?
Because
they're
it's a horrible name.
But but that's even worse.
Not really.
It's like, here, McDudd, I'm gonna
might
eat
as well since you're gonna name me Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi's not a horrible name. She's iconic. She's a feisty woman, dude. She's scary.
Do you know what that means?
Chi-Chi?
Yes.
When they named her Chi-Chi, it was pure innocent. Don't corrupt it.
It was not pure innocent. Us Spanish-speaking people did not.
Okay, Spanish-speaking people is different. Okay? I'm talking about when the creator of Dragon Ball decided to come up with a damn name for Chi-Chi. It was out of pure innocence. If you're tattering any part of it, that's on your own fault.
I think I can handle this.
Well, no, I would not change my name to Chi-Chi.
Come on, change it.
Hell no.
What does it mean in Spanish, by the way? I'm kind of curious. Or is it too inappropriate to say here? Is it one of those things that actually means something bad in Spanish? Really? I did not know that. Huh? Well, I mean, that's kind of common sense, but she must have been an angry one then. All the time. So. She was a scary, angry one. That was one you gotta stay away from.
I shouldn't be that angry, scary.
But she was over caring too, so you'd be a perfect human.
I should be.
Her personality was just almost like yours. When it came to her kids, everything, yeah, just like yours.
How about you just name yourself a reading novel?
No, because then I had to have worry about Krillin Trunks, and I don't have that anger issue like he does. I don't have that freaking stubborn ass. No, I'm too nice.
You have the conceited side though.
No, I do not. Not at all. What the hell? I'm more caring for others than myself, so how could I be it? And when I took the test, I was actually already guaranteed taking the test, but I took the test for personality test for Goku, which Dragon Ball Z character you'd be. Goku was it. Me and him both got Goku. I wonder you'd be a Chi-Chi. I know it would be.
I think I can handle this.
If there was a test about what Dragon Ball Z character woman would you be? I know it. I would feel it. But Bulma's way better looking than Chi-Chi.
Yeah, but she also thought too much about herself.
Oh yeah, I hated that part of her.
Yeah, you're too.
But when she got older, she was a little bit more well behaved.
I think I can handle
There's
this.
Billy's cousin.
Well, because you saw more in Dragon Ball. You saw more of almost teenage age than Chi-Chi's. That's why it was more noticeable that the way she was acting, they tried to treat her as a teenager. How would a teenager girl act when she's that age? How would she act when she came to all those little problems? And most of it was, what, in the 90s, there were a lot of teenage girls at their age were really immature. They were really, really badly immature. No, but I had my own sister, so I kind of tell her.
Oh,
She
okay,
was,
yeah.
Bulma was just exactly like my sister. I swear to God, it was so scary. Oh, I don't want to do this. You guys gonna, oh my God, it's gonna be high. Like, everything's overkill. Like, straight up. My sister's like that. Like, straight up. I was like, okay. I mean, I could scare my sister so easily. That's how sad it was.
It's because she was blonde, though.
That's horrible. You racist.
That's not being racist.
Wow.
That was not being racist. I
Oh,
that was being a Harrist.
That was being a Harrist. There's actually a term for that, really? Wow.
No, I just made it up.
Oh, well, there is one now.
I was not talking about her race. And so, it's talking about her hair color. It's a Harrist, okay?
When she turned 21, she turned legally blonde, okay? So
What?
When she turned 18, she was legally blonde.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Jackson?
No, I don't have blonde in me. She's half sister, so.
Well, being a half sister, yeah.
Depends. Well, I'm almost over already.
I've seen a couple things.
Well, I may have like blonde moments, but everybody has blonde moments. It doesn't matter if you're blonde or not. But I mean, when you're pure blonde, it just comes. It's so bad. It is bad. It is bad. Trust me, it's so bad. Okay, so think about it. Who would you know if they try to say, "Oh yeah, I'm tough. I can fight for myself," and then she freaking you hit them. I put my hand up and I tell her to hit me, right? And hit my hand as hard as she can. She twists her hand, bends it this way, and then falls back, and he falls on her butt at the same time. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, she's just adorably blonde. But she's also my sister, so
I'm officially a Harris now.
On live television versus 100,000 viewers.
It's a new word now when I
It's a Harris. You're a Harris. You're not racist, I'm just Harris. What the hell? Oh. I thought I heard it all, folks, bro. I thought I really heard it all. Oh, wow. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on that one. How would you use as a Harris as possible? Oh, man.
I think I can handle this.
Yeah, it's
Be like Susan Harris.
Susan Harris. Susan Harris. She doesn't even have hair, but she's a Harris.
I actually won.
You.
I have hair.
No, I mean like not like out of hair or whatever, but she's still technically Harris. That's hilarious. But no, but I mean blonde jokes are normal for the 90s, so me talking about my sister being blonde is normal, but
I remember I made a comment to you about being blonde one time, and I forgot what it was, but it was so good that you like literally wanted to kick my butt.
oh yeah, because it was like pricelessly good, but at the same time I was like, I'm not blonde, like where are you getting this?
You could be blonde.
No, if I dyed my hair, but that wouldn't be my DNA. But blonde is like a DNA thing. My sister, you think I'm white? Look at my sister, man. She's like super white. She is super white skinned. I swear to God, she is like the purest blonde. Like she looks like exactly.
Jack.
She's everything a blonde would be. Like,
Jack, I can make you blonde.
I bet you can, but
And I can make you white hair too.
no. I'm talking about her skin. She's really blonde. Like she's like a typical blonde girl, like the ones you see on TV.
I actually won.
She's straight on. But that's life when you're a kid. Having a sister. You fight over things and you make fun of your sister. Teach her some strength. It actually good values though, because when you think about it, well, no, if you do it, it actually helps them protect them again. You learn how to stand up and be quirky and stand up to other guys. So the logic behind it, if you can tease your brother or sister, and you know how to tease your brother back and stand up against him, the less you're gonna take crap from guys. And you're gonna know when you're gonna have issues or whatever. I mean, you can still learn it other ways. Don't get me wrong. This is not the only way to learn it, but it does kind of beefing up your experiences. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting no more. Come on. Come to daddy. Ooh, come here. Don't get behind me. Don't get behind me. Ah! I hate when they get behind me like that.
I think I can handle this.
There we go. Finally got him. Put him to the wall.
I think I can handle this.
Ah, need to rest.
I think I can handle this.
I normally like to wait till they get right to me, and then I press the L1, L3, and it freaking just does it. I just make sure my camera's facing them when I do it. And he kind of just ends them really, really quick. Or I catch them off guard.
Here I go.
Ah, crap, I got a battle.
How's that?
Ooh, I got 12,000 to go to get to level 13. So yeah, it's possible to keep getting like leveling up. It's really possible. You just gotta be good at it. And I mean, it's not as long as it takes to get to level like what you did with Goku and all them. You're knocking them down. I mean, you really are. As long as you kind of do like multiples at a time, you're gonna have it. Like, as long as you have your full thing, and you just kind of run it till you're freaking done. If you do like 6 per bar, you're gonna get really up there really, really fast. You gotta think like twice of them was like 120. I think I said that last video. Oh shit, I ran out of juice. I think it did it on purpose. So. No, I meant the blue. Like it stops you halfway. If you get to a certain point, I think it just stops you so it reminds you to rest. So you have some in case you get in a fight. Because without your key, you can't really do anything in the fight besides like fighting. You have to build it.
I think I can handle this. I'm gonna take you down.
Man.
I actually won.
So yeah, okay, let's not try to stay quiet for this whole video. What else?
I think I can handle
What do you feel like this for this company that you want to do? Besides just me, like, I know me and him have our goals, but what do you? I know you being the business owner and everything. What do you feel like you want to? What you want to see out of this channel, and what do you want to see out of this business?
Mostly it's just having fun.
Yeah.
And sharing something that, you know, all of us are kind of grew up with, and show stuff that we like, and possibly have others see something they like, and
What's cool?
share common interests.
And what's cool is that
I think I can handle this.
What's cool is that later on when we get the, because I know you're into a lot of Nintendo stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's cool is that one camera that I showed you with the little box thing that I want to get, it allows me to hook it in the back of a Switch as well. So we could do like a Smash tournament. And
that's also because I grew up with Super Nintendo. I mean, my cousins had.
Did you ever play Sega?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Dreamcast?
Yes, my cousins mostly had games.
Yeah.
I just would go over to their house because they literally lived like
Oh,
on the other side of the street.
Walk away.
But I really didn't get.
How was it in the 90s? We didn't really have, like, we didn't get the chance to stay home and be online with multiple people. We actually had to go, if we wanted to play games with our friends, we actually literally had to go to their house and play games with them.
Yeah.
You couldn't just put on a console.
And that's what I did. I went over because.
And I wish they would have never did online, except for only streaming or things like that. I don't think they should have added the online play.
But then at the same time, you get to meet people. That's how.
I think I can handle
And make friends.
But you get more a closer bond with the friends that you have near your area. You could meet people all around the world, yeah, and still have your gamer tag and you could go share it around. But it's not about how many friends you get to meet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's great that you can outreach a little bit. There's a lot that came good for it. There's a lot of positivity that we did go online great. But I think they lost the core meaning of what games were meant to be, and that's why Nintendo's so great at this, is that they keep on remembering that, is that... Bless me.
Sure.
Bless me. The beauty of what we did with Nintendo is that they took the concept of still making it to where it's family fun.
Yeah.
Where you still had to be there to play with your friends. You had to pick up a controller and meet with your friends. Or you take the Nintendo and you could go anywhere you want. You can still play online. You can still join your friends or whatever for certain games. But you still had to be close enough to actually do some things. Yeah. And that's the reality of it. Like when Nintendo came out, and Sega came out, all the original consoles that came out before us, you literally had to be at someone's house playing your game with them. And with that, you learned to be social, publicly social, not just social on the internet, where you hide behind your face behind the internet, or you hide behind the internet and you play a game. You actually had friends in school, and your friends in school would then come over, and it chose you to be up there, and you had parents who were able to watch those people, watch what they did, what they didn't do, and it was nothing bad, nothing negativity were happening, because you had the parents had full control of what they were doing. The consoles were there in front of their TVs. You had fun. You had a time frame. There was no way for them to like play a game without the parents' consent, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, you had your friends that were already near you in here go to your school as well. So it could go to your school or go to a different school or whatever, but they're in your neighborhood. Yeah. And so when you're done playing games, not only do you have friends that will go there, when you grow up with them, you can start seeing, you'll have lifelong friends. That ones that will be, when you decide to go to a club at 21, you get to see them. Ones that you will carry on till the end of the earth. And those friends, I don't know how many friends I've lost like that, because one, internet, and two, we don't need to be like that anymore. The generation's so swift to the point where people are afraid to even meet in person, even though they know you online.
Sure.
And it's really hard for people nowadays, I think kids even nowadays, to actually get out and meet friends. And that's why I think depression's gone up really, really high. It's not because video games have gone to the point where it's online. It's because it's how it was treated. If it was still the same way where you actually had, in order to play multiplayer, you had to be at your friend's house, you would do it. You know what I mean? You didn't need to be in your own house. But, yeah. I know. We're almost there. I'm almost there. Look at this. So, yeah. Well, it's been an hour, 30 minutes. A little longer than I thought. I'm going to leave it right here. Obviously, I'm going to probably have to level up without you guys being on the channel. Just because situations. But hopefully we'll get our regular star back who normally is in front. As I said, this company is pretty good. We want good things. You've heard from her herself. And She's going to be the main focus that running everything. I'm just going to be pretty much I'm still kind of running things, but I'm going to be running things in the background off base. And I think that's because I want one person to be the owner and not all three of us of the actual paperwork. When it comes to paperwork, banks, taxes, all that, I just want one person to actually own the company. I don't want to have to worry about 3 different business owners and then worrying about splitting profits and taxes being totally different. It's just one person who owns the name, the company, the source, all that, and then the other people just kind of work underneath that. But me and her have the same level of ownership when it comes to the company as I do, and as my other friend. We're all equal. That's the main thing, and I think we're going to do that, and we're going to do that fairly, because, you know, it makes it easier.
And that way we don't feel like the other one's getting more work than.
And if anybody splits, I mean, I'll just split half of what they make. So if we're making this much, someone gets half of that every month, and that's be it. You know, their portion of it, 1/3. You know, of everything that we did. If there's 3 people, we're splitting in thirds. So if you ever split, you know, if someone ever splits from the company and they decide to stay, they'll still make money even if they split. They just won't be. They'll get what they get for what they worked into the company. And we'll give them some kind of like split. That way they'll feel like, well, I created this channel with you, so I still have it, even though I'm quitting. That way I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's just money, and I know that I'm still going to make plenty of it later on with another thing. But I don't plan on switching. We do plan on adding new people, but it's people who are going to be the writers, the editors, so we don't have to stick to that too. It makes things easier, but that will be later on. Right now, we're going to be the editors, and if we feel like we don't want any more editors, we're just maybe just us 3, and that'll be it. But we want to make it into a company, because there's other things that I want to do with it that I'm going to need extra hands on, and I have to turn it into a company if I don't. If I don't have the hands-on people for it to get these things done, it's just going to drain me, it's going to drain her, it's going to drain my other friend, Zombie Fan, and it's just going to make things harder on us. We want somebody else to cover certain branches of the company where they're responsible for that part of the branch, but they're not the owner. They're just going to be responsible for that part and have a crew for them to follow. And they get a certain budget. They work within that budget to do what they need to do for, whether it's a community event, whether it's, you know, things like that. And then we kind of treat it as that. I think that's going to be fair. And that way me and him can kind of focus on videos that we want to do. We're more focused on what we want. We can have script written out for us, and they can read it out on a monitor, which would be nice. You know, Telegram monitor, whatever you call it. They make those for cameras now. Just things like that, and it'll be more professional. It'll be more easily ran, and we have more things covered. I think we'll be able to focus on covering multiple things as well, not just in game, not just walk through games. We'll be able to have other things like news and updates and things like that we originally wanted to do anyway. But we'll be able to send out double more videos as well. So even though we're sending out these 3 videos, gameplay walkthrough, which we're still going to do, we're going to do that live. I think what we're going to do those Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays, we're still going to do. I think we're just going to turn them into live once we get to a certain degree and we have staff that can kind of do these things. Those will be live. Those won't be scripted. But I think eventually me and him are going to eventually for like other videos, like the unboxings, the events, the things that we're doing, rather we're doing news and updates. Those will be scripted. Those will be pretty much, because you have to script those. You can't just cover everything. Like, you have to script those. So those will be ran by those people to break it for us. So when me and him go to the office, we know what we're saying. We know what we have it right there, and we can look at there and we can just read off a board, and that's it. And it'll be easier. And I think just having, you know, maybe because there's 2 of us, it's going to be hard to kind of script, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Even if it's not scripted, but still having a way of just knowing, like, bulletin points, at least something where we have little bulletin points what we're talking about for the news, and the articles on them and what we can discuss. Just having somebody in the background kind of showing you guys the images behind us, talking about it would be awesome, and bringing in those images and being more live and being more fresh rate, so it's not so laggy. We just want better quality, and it helps us on the quality issue. I think it will help us big time on the quality issue. It will help us on making sure we have the videos aired, and it will leave us more time to do what we love, because we don't want to take away from that, and it will give me more time because we do have a family to come home to too. So it kind of brings up that issue. And I think because I have a family, I need to have those kind of people behind those things. Now they're not going to be completely final say on everything they edit. We are going to be the final say, obviously, but and that's going to have to come between three of us, working together and seeing which ones we really want to finalize on. And then when we've realized which one we're going to finalize on, then yeah, if we want to change something, great, then they'll fix it. They'll have time to fix it, and we'll be able to do it. But that's why we're going to have the meetings. We're going to have the offices for that. We're going to have the space for it, and all those things are going to come into it. And then you guys are going to see a bigger room, a little bit more open area where we can video, and you're going to see a little bit more background changes and more funner stuff, making the channel more funner. That's really what it is. We want to make the channel fun. Maybe we'll do like some little skits or little cosplays. Maybe we'll go to events like E3 or things like that. Us shopping around and getting our games or things like that. Like going to like anime conventions and figuring out what we can do to add into our gameplay. Things like that. We just want to be able to have fun with our channels and maybe do some other kind of skits as well that have to do with gaming, like little ponds and things like that. You know, just things that make this channel more better. So, as I said, my friend is very sorry for not being here today. He would love to be here, and he's not. As I said, he has personal issues, and that's life. So I hope you guys respect that. As things get easier, he's going to get easier. He's going to let me know his work schedule. It's going to get a little hectic for him, so just kind of keep in mind you might see a little bit more of her more often. But that's just how it's going to be. We may look for another guy to kind of come in and fill his place when he's not here, but I don't want him to feel like he's less of a person on here. I want him to know that he's the main person behind this. He's created so much time and this energy in this channel, and he's given up so much for this channel, and he has every right to dictate what goes on with his character, what goes on with his part, what does it, and he will always be the first person. I will always pay before somebody else, and anybody who ever steps in for him will have to understand that value of place. That value of place, you will do his character right, you will treat it with respect, but you will not get the same. You will not get the same authority as he will ever have, because he is the one who helped create this channel. It's his dedication, it's his timing, it's his everything that he's already put in this channel from day one, and he deserves that. So I'm going to make that very clear for whoever we decide to pick in, that they know that clearly, that yes, we're not going to think that we don't appreciate your work. Don't get me wrong, that you're stepping in, but we also got to understand that he was the one that came up with this idea as well. It wasn't just me. So this channel is as much his as well as it's mine. And that's the only reason why he has that authority. Until things get a little bit easier and the channel starts making money, then he doesn't have to do that. And things for his life to get a little bit easier, then he will not have to step away for so much. And he will be able to be in more videos. But we may have a stand-in so that way I have somebody here with me. Because it looks boring if I'm just playing by myself. I'm sorry. I didn't do this channel to play by myself. I choose this channel to play with my friends, and there are some friends that we have that we want to collab with. So it kind of works out that we do have those options. But he is dedicated to this channel, and I'm never going to make him feel like he's any less on this channel. This channel is his positivity, and this is why he created it. And he's worked so hard with other people's, and they just failed him. And I don't want that to ever happen here. He has this channel. This is his rock. This is his creativity as well. So he has every right to protect it, and he has every right to have it. Yes, he's going to have to put in some work. He knows that, but he's not going to treat any less different. But he also does have to realize that he has a life right now that it's a little bit hectic, and things just happen to come up last minute after we had already made the channel. And there was nothing we really could have done to stop it. So until those moments get past, we're going to have a little fill-in every now and then, but it's not going to be the main. If it comes down to where it's just me and my girl filling in, well, then we're going to have to change our schedule and work around that, because she has a 2-work schedule. 2 days, she works 2 different jobs, and it's hectic. So, and we got kids. So just kind of keep that in mind, that we're not going to give them the channel. I'm not going to give them the channel. I can't afford to. I put too much effort into it, and this is our biggest dream, and this is his dream. So he knows that, and I will never, no matter how far we get this creativity by, I want to say this not for myself to remind myself, but as to remind anybody else on here. If we do more videos than he ever did, and we make it so big, I don't want to ever feel like he wasn't part of that creativity, and that he is not the reason why we're here. Because if it wasn't really for him, I would not have the editing, I would not have anything. So everything that's happening now and in the future will be because of him, as well as me. Equal flame, equal field, and so is my girlfriend. So keep that in mind, people. That it's our company's not here to think like a businessman and to think like, oh yeah, I gotta think like a businessman. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna be one of those companies that earn some money because they don't have the time or the effort or whatever. You don't. If you forget how you begin, you'll obviously lose at the end. That is a very good saying. No matter if you're a YouTube channel or not, if you forget how you are in the end, you'll lose at the end. Because everybody who did for that channel, everybody who helped you in that channel, gave you, whether it was an inspiration video for you to start, whether it was somebody who gave you the idea, they're the reason behind that. And if you don't treat them with that respect, you're never going to have that respect, and it's going to hurt you. Yeah, it makes things tough because there can probably be some feuds, but at the end of the day, you got to remember he put that effort into it, and the logo's here because of it. He is behind that logo. His name is stamped on that logo. And if anybody owns creator rights for that logo, it's him, and he's going to only use it for this channel. He knows that. So, when you buy those shirts, you're buying his art, and I want that respected. I want that 100% respected. You're not buying anything different. You're buying his art. You're buying his artwork. Everything to this channel it is partially to him as well. And my girlfriend's money support, and as well as being here support as well. So she's a big part of it too, and she will never have less power either. But she knows that we're the ones who pretty much, she has a understanding that me and him pretty much created it, and it's more like our channel than hers. But she's acting as her own, but she's doing it for the legal reasons and doing it for that way we don't have, if there's any beef, we don't have that issue. And she knows to keep me neutral from him. No matter how much she loves me, she knows how to keep that out. So she's the business mind. She has that. She has it in her. She's ran a company before. So just having all that, I don't have that experience. And I don't feel like jumping in a company I don't have experience in, or putting myself in a field I don't have experience in, and learning it on the fly and mess up taxes for this channel, or mess up anything that would hurt this channel later on. So having someone here that already knows how to do it, that can legally do it, and everything else like that, and know all the legal things, all the little details, if I print, she is that person, and I want to protect that, and she has this as much right over this channel as we do, but she knows that we're pretty much the brains behind the channel, so, and she respects that. Brains. Yeah, pretty much, but she respects it, because it's pretty much our ideas that made this channel pop, so, as we watch the number grows, you're going to watch us grow, and that's how it is. We're not pros at what we're doing. We're not pros, obviously. Me and him are not pros.
Next time you see him, he's going to have this long beard. That's how you're going to know.
That's how you know I've been stressing for 5 weeks leveling up Gohan.
That's how you're going to know we grew. You're going to grow your...
Wow! Yeah, guys. Next channel is going to be 10 years in the future of how much stress I'm going through for growing out my hair because I haven't shaved because I realized how much stress I'm putting into this damn piano. No.
And then once you see that the gray's growing in, then you really know it grew alright.
Thank God I'm not 40. I'm going to turn 33 next month.
Yeah, that's 7 more years till you're 40.
No, I'm done, dude. I'm hoping I get somewhere before I'm 40, okay? This channel better make it before I'm 40, okay?
You've already gotten somewhere here, though.
No, I mean, I'm praying this channel would actually be bigger before I'm 40. Like, really bigger. I'm really praying for it because when I'm 40 and close to that age, I want to get to a point to where it's so well, the channel does so well that we can do so many things. I'm still young enough to help the community. I'm still young enough to handle all those things.
Well, yeah, but okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Before I hit that point where if I'm 60 years old, it's going to be hard.
60 years old, by then you're going to be bald.
Yeah, but even then, it would be harder for me to intervene and interact.
I can already picture you at 60.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but the thing is,
liver spots.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not about that. But you know what I'm talking about. Like,
No,
I
I
want
know.
this channel to be.
You want it to grow by a certain time.
Yeah, so that way I can at least make accomplishments. I could be young enough to make accomplishments in it, and that's what I'm pretty much
You
at.
want to see your little seed grow.
Well, that, and then I can actually be young enough to actually put into the accomplishments that I want, like helping out communities and being young enough to do it. I mean, if I get too old, then it's gonna be harder. You know, it's gonna be harder on both of us.
I'm still gonna be young. I don't know.
You're gonna be 32, honey, this month, this coming up year. So don't act like you're younger than me.
I'm going to be young.
You're 1 year. By 1 year. If I'm 60, you're gonna be 59. So get over it.
Hey, it's not 60, so. At least I ain't 60 yet.
But the point is that
I know.
I want to
59.
leave something behind that's. I've been thinking really hard about what to leave behind when I get to a certain age, and I've left a lot behind. Don't get me wrong, I left a lot in Stockton behind that is gonna stick for me and remember me for years. And people who live in Stockton are gonna remember me for years. They still do to this day. They miss the heck out of me, but I want to leave another thing. I want to leave something that's a little different than what I've been normally leaving, and I want to leave something that will continue to grow for my kids. And my kids can be involved when they get older, because they are gamers. They're into gaming, and they love watching. They love doing all these things that I'm doing. They love it, and I would love their creativity because they're very creative, and I want to give them a start too on that. And if they have this channel, and eventually they take over the channel where they can be the face of the channels when we're older, and we can still be the owners, but they can be the face. And they can use their creativity to come up with ideas and bring fresh ideas. I would love that for them. I would love them to have something to lean back on. And this channel is that. So as we're growing this, we're growing my daughter's community, we're growing my things like that. And I know my daughters, they're going to take good care of it. I feel like they do. They really care about everything.
They're going to add pink to it.
Well, they'll add whatever they want, but they can't change the logo. There'll be certain things they cannot change because obviously for business reasons. But
they're going to add uniforms to it.
Whatever they're doing, I don't know.
Butterflies.
I don't know, but they're probably going to make sure it's well respected. I know them, so you and your daughters, I swear.
You should add it. I'm going to add a uniform, actually.
You know what? You need to don't even do that, please.
It needs a girly touch.
Here's what I'll do.
What?
When we get the office, I will paint the office any way you want. I will go in there and grab a designer and have her come in there and paint it any way you want for your office.
But I want to color the pink. There's no feminine touch to it. It's all male. If you're going to have me in here, there has to be a feminine touch to it.
Okay, well, see, here you go. I can't argue with that, actually. I really legally can't. We're going to have to figure that out, but YouTube doesn't really give me that option right now, so sorry.
Well, then how about you wear pink? That'll be the feminine
In the
touch.
day of hell that I wear pink. Hell no.
I'll just dirty all your shirts and then you have to wear pink.
I will go to the fucking store, shirt off, and buy a freaking shirt if that comes down to
That's
it.
nasty. No one's going to want to see all that.
I don't care. It's like, what happened? My girlfriend dirtied all my shirts and didn't wash them. And so now my shirt's in a washer. I have to wait, and I have to do a video, and I have no choice but to buy a shirt now.
You'd be pissed. You wouldn't go to a store. You'd be.
I'd send somebody.
You'd be really pissed.
I'd send one of my staff to go do it.
Or you would send me. You'd be like, "You did not wash my shirts. You dirtied them. You better go get me a new one, and it better not be pink."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then I'll get you purple.
No. What the heck?
Okay, yellow.
What the heck? Yeah, but that would be good for the camera.
Baby blue.
Probably, yeah. That'd be pretty good.
Silver.
Yeah, that'd be good for a camera. Just good. You gotta be careful what you put on camera, man.
Put brown.
Well, no. You wouldn't want brown on camera. I mean, it's so weird because cameras. I don't know what it is about colors.
Perfectly.
Certain colors don't fit on camera. You notice that?
Jackson.
Like they stand out too bright.
Jackson, but we would complement each other if you had brown.
What are you talking about? Oh, you know what? We're not going there with that. That's where I know I need to quit now and edit that out. We're gonna get you. For you.
Ow!
That's why I can't bring her on air, people. We're gonna lose demonetization.
How is that?
Because they can read between the lines.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not the lightest color. It's something.
But that's still
it's a pun
that
on
still
me.
could be considered to the community a racist comment. It doesn't make sense, I know, but when you're talking about live television,
If I'm black though, like see my black hair.
you know what? There you go.
I told you I'm a hairist. I'm not racist.
Anyways, so yeah, I can't believe this. He's gonna have to edit all this out. Oh
or
my
do
God.
you want to go with this color right here? I don't know what this is.
I don't know what that is either. It's
It's
blonde.
like blonde with like dying
blonde on me?
purple.
You got a blonde on me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Blondes have more fun, you know. So I might as well turn blonde.
So yeah, no, but double seriousness, and I don't know what. How do you feel about me having this channel? Be honest.
If it's something you enjoy, why not?
I mean, what was your emotional part with this for me with this channel? Like, how much do you really feel like you want to protect it and make it grow for it? Because how much it really means to you to make it grow?
I want it to grow. I don't want it to just be like.
But how much do you feel like it should be? How much do you want to make it grow? Feel like it should grow because you want me to grow it? Like, how much do you feel like you want it to grow? Like, how much of your heart's in it? Like, how much does it mean to you to grow this channel for me?
That would mean a lot to me because it means a lot to you. And it means a lot to Esteban.
Yeah. And the things you've seen so far with my past.
Yeah.
How much positivity you think good comes from this channel besides my past?
A lot.
Can you explain in detail?
Like.
Tell them.
A lot, as in.
Because you know me. You know me for
Yes, I know.
so many years. And you've sat in those offices when you've heard my past. And things I will not share on here.
It would mean a lot to you because you didn't have those chances to do what you wanted to do.
A lot of things.
It's kind of like having friends. I know it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, it's pretty depressing. And I've already seen you depressed because you didn't have friends, because your friends didn't have time for you. So I know it's important to you just as much as having friends and talking to people is.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes I'll tell you, Jackson, why are you taking so long talking to this person? I know it's because it's part of you.
And a lot of it also pushed me to get this channel done too, because believe it or not, there was a friend of mine, and I was close to him, as close as I was to Greg, but his name was Eddie, and I don't know if anybody knows him, who's ever watched my channel, who actually knows him, you'll know why. They used to come to my house, and it wasn't for Joe and them, he used to come to my house for a long time, and every 2 weeks they were at my house and we were hanging out, and as time went on we were so busy, things changed, I changed, my schedule got busier, everybody else's schedule got busier, we kind of separated, we barely got to see each other as much, but those were my friends that I could never replace, like, and things happened to him where he died, and it broke me, it broke Greg, even still now, it still breaks him. And it still breaks me a little bit every day, but a part of me realized that he was so great, and he had so many inspirations. He even brought up the fact, why don't you do a YouTube channel one day? And I never really talked to anybody about this, but even Greg knew that he had brought up the fact one day when I was talking about I'm a gamer and I wanted to reach out to others, and he said, why don't you bring up a channel? Why don't you bring up a YouTube channel? I was like, I don't have that creativity. You don't see how these people have it? Like, I was really scared. I was scared because I look at other YouTube channels, and it's so easy to look at these other YouTube channels. They got thousands of views. They're already making their money, and they cover everything that you're about to cover. They're covering your Goku. They're covering. This is like right now. Kakarot was covered 2 weeks before I was even covered, and they have the followers. They already have the editors. They have everybody that's making it look so perfect, and the lawyer protection. And all it takes is someone to say, hey, I'm copywriting you. And that's it. And it's so hard to create something new when everybody's already creating every idea that you already have at such a fast rate. And I was like, this was like a few years ago, like when he was telling me this, it was like 3 or 4 years ago when he said, when YouTube was still changing and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, I just was so scared, and I never really had it. I go, I need people if I'm going to create something like this, because I can't do it on my own. I don't have the skills. I don't have the skills to do it, and it takes so long for me to learn, and my learning disabilities were getting in the way. Editing, all these things, like creating edits, creating things like that. Learning how to things been good, because I'm deaf in one ear, so it makes it harder for me to hear if the audio is good or not. All those things require me to have people, and people that I can trust, and people that are going to be there every day or every week, or you know, the times that we need to do it to get it out. And it just took me a while to find that one person who actually would be willing to put in the time and effort. And all my friends, I guarantee they would put the time and effort for it, but if I would have asked them. But I already knew they were just working so hard, and they had other things that they were focused on and passionate about. And it was just something I would love for them to be in it. And I would love, you know, I think one of these days I'm going to bring them into it, you know, when they're going to be guests or something on the show. But just because I love them as friends, and they're like family to me, and they need to be in it. But not everybody in your family can do what you're doing right now. And you need to understand that, like, a big part of that is that I needed to understand was that not everybody, even though they're your family, they can't always be there doing the things you're going to do to make yourself grow. They got their own things too, because they're family from different brothers and fathers. They're not like my family, like they're friends, but they're fans from family that I grew as family, because my family, they're like the closest things I had. And it's so hard for them to just find time in their schedules, because they had full-time jobs, full-time careers, things that were bigger than what I was doing. And things that they felt like was more reliable than what I was doing. And I would never dare ask, like, Joe to quit working at the Kakarot just for a YouTube channel. Yeah. I could never do that. I could never ask Greg to stop working at a store or something like that. I could never ask what's his name from Apple or whatever to stop working over there just so you can work on my channel. No, I could never do that to any of my friends, and all my friends worked. Even Anthony who did that, he worked hard, and you know, he found time on his eyes off to work on a channel, but he had already done his own thing, and that worked for him. You know, so it's one of those things where I had to learn to find my own new crew that will never replace my family. Don't get me wrong, this crew does not replace my family. No, I'll treat Esteban as family, but he is never going to be his replacement as what my family from Stockton is. And even though I'm in Texas, miles away, just the fact that, but he was the one that was able to do it. He was just happened to be the one that was able to do it, and that's life. I mean, it's not always going to be the one you pictured. Not always going to be the one you want when you see your dream or goal. It's going to be the one that's going to be there in opportunity. When you see opportunity, you take it. You don't sit there and complain about it. You don't sit there, well, this is not the one I want. This is not the one. It's kind of like dating. You don't sit there and say, when you find a good man and he's there, it may not be the perfect man. He may not have perfect abs like Thor. He's not your Thor. He's not your what do you call it? Tony Stark. He's not your whoever you feel like is hot. Tom Cruise. Whatever. Yeah, but even then, what was his name who played Captain Jack Sparrow? Johnny Depp. He's not your Johnny Depp, but yet he's still somebody who's putting the time and effort into you, and that shows how much you need to show appreciation for. It has nothing to do with he's your family. He's the one you wanted him to do it in the first place. He wasn't the one you originally thought of doing it with it, but he's the one that made it happen. He's the one that you. And I'm not saying this that I never want to do with it. No, that's not my point. That's not my goal at all. I'm saying that I didn't do this YouTube channel until I came here in Texas, and it was for him. It was his idea that made it happen. It was my friend for putting it into me, but it was also him for wanting to do it as well. Mm-hmm. And I think both were ones for whatever reason. He may have his own reasons in why he wanted to do it, and I would love to hear why. You know, but he may have his own personal beliefs why he wanted to do it. Maybe who he had ideas of doing. He told me he had other people he was going to do it with, and he was trying to do it with them, but it didn't work out. You know, or things just kind of, you know, been the way they did. But he said that he wants to do it, and he really is focused on it. And so that's why I was like, okay, you know what, we're doing it. And you know, whatever he had, I don't know what it is. I'll let him talk about that because I don't want to bash nobody or nothing. Whatever he chose, he did. But he realized the opportunity too. And he realized, hey, he's just as passionate as I am about it, and why not? We created one together, and it's still going to be beautiful. It's still going to be happy, and my friends are still proud of it. You can see it right there. They didn't care if it was them in it or not. That's how I know my friends are there. I mean, I know Joe and them watch YouTube, and I haven't told them about this channel yet, and I haven't really told a lot of my friends about this channel because I kind of wanted to make sure I had it set in stone before I just said I'm doing this, and they see it and then it fails or something like that. I didn't want to break them. So, but I also know that they would love to see this. So now that we got a few videos up, I now have the time to kind of tell them, because at the time we didn't have time to tell them. So now that I have the time to tell them and reach out to them, will happen, and it will happen so well, and I'm going to be very grateful. So grateful that, and I think they're going to be grateful to see them watch and want to see it. Even though it's not everything they watch, but it's something they're supportive. This is supportive bonus. Mm-hmm. And I miss them a lot. I do. They're family to me. They don't know, and I want them to come up here. I think we were talking about Joe and him coming up here anyway. And Mitch is coming to Texas too, but Mitch is not into YouTube and all that. He's not into. Most of my friends are older than this, so they're not into this generation thing. But no, I just very good heart. I know this was a very hard one, but it kind of just what happened this week. It kind of opened up my eyes about this channel, and it kind of made me want to open up a little bit. I think because everything that happened with him, where we were at before and how we are now is a big thing. I mean, we lost a lot in Stockton, and we didn't lose our friends, thank God, but we did lose a lot, and those losses did hurt a lot, and they hurt so bad that it almost broke me. And being here, when I moved here, I wanted this to be a vacation place for me and take a break and rebuild myself and repower myself and find something and actually do the things that I dreamed of doing already and rebuild them back up, because it was the second time I lost everything after I rebuilt something. You know what I mean? And it was just so hard to get rid of all those games. I mean, I donated a lot to charity, but it hurt me because we spent and you worked your ass off for me for those games. And I used my own money too, don't get me wrong, but it just, everything I had was precious, man. And they were one-of-a-kind collections. They weren't like something I just wanted to give up. They were the rare ones, the ones that you can't get back unless I go out and buy like $1,000 worth of stuff. And pay triple than what I paid for. The same thing goes with that Goku. I mean, if you don't have the Goku, you wish you had it. And if you did, you're going to pay like $1,000 now because it's worth more than what it was when it came home from school. I mean, someone already sold Goku alone for $1,000.
Seriously?
That's how much he goes up to now because he's
limited edition.
There's none left.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's none left. They don't make them. There's no way of buying them. So it's kind of like that's the seller. I didn't buy him to sell him. If I have to come down to selling him, I'd probably break. I'd be broken again. But if I needed the money to do it, yeah, of course. But when it came down to really serious stuff, I'm not just gonna ask $1,000 for no reason. Yeah. It has to be something big. And I mean, I don't even think I could sell it that high. But I mean, I could, but I don't think I would want to. Well, I don't know. It would be very hard to part. I didn't think, even thinking about selling him would be very hard. It's very hard right now. But because he's such big in my childhood. But I want that game room back. I want that area, and I want it to be a place where I know I can never have to sell my stuff. Yeah. And even if I lose the business, I know I can take my stuff home. I know I can keep everything I work for and put in for it. It's not so much that I know people say this, stuff is just stuff, but when you put your hard work and sweat for it, coming from wherever you got it and everything you got, it's like a house. You lose the house. Imagine losing your own house to like a tornado. All those things that you've done to put into that money, all those years, put into that money, and then come to find out that one tornado hits your house. It's devastating. It's not like, I don't think people really understand that. They say, oh, well, this materials thing. But material things can be just as important as somebody in your life. Mm-hmm. Because what you put into it, it's what's reminding it. It's that whole sign, and it's really a really sad thing to have. To sit there and say, hey, we have all this stuff, and now you got to sell it. Okay, but did you know what I did to get to it? Do you know what a sacrifice to put into it to get it? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I think honestly, it's really, really sad to see that people don't realize that when it comes to their collections or things like that. They're willing to break someone's PS4 or Xbox. Yeah. They're willing to delete somebody's game because it's just their girlfriends are willing to delete that man's game just because he felt like it. You know how hard it would take? You know how long, how many hours? You watch all these videos, and then you put in those many hours to beat this game the way you got your character, and you were going to delete it. Do you not realize how many people would realize, like, holy crap, look how many hours you put into it? You would feel somewhat guilt. Because that's like you putting, I put in just as amount of hours as you put into a day job to get to where I'm at. Yeah. It may not be the importance to somebody else because it doesn't have any value of money or doesn't see what did I get out of it? It has nothing to do about that. It has to do with what did somebody really do because they loved it so much to put that hour of dedication to it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I put in my hours and dedication to my family and everything too, don't get me wrong. But that's important too. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying you shouldn't put more into your game. You should put more into your games or your collection than your own family. No. What I'm saying is that you should find a balance where your collection and your game time is just important as important, and have it as a hobby. But at the same time, have your hobby as important because it is important. That's who you are. Hobbies are who you are. But at the same time, have a family that's still remember that you have a family and have that family a little bit above that hobby, but not so much to the point where your family wants to sell your whole hobby. Now, the only reason why I sold all my stuff, the only reason why, is because secretly, is because if I didn't, we would have never made it here, and we would have been homeless, and I would have lost you. Because I had no choice. And it wasn't you that asked me to sell it. You never once asked me to sell it. You didn't want me to sell it. But what did I do?
You did anyway.
Yeah, and see, and that's the reason why I know I trust her with everything, because she knows I will never, I know for sure she never wants to sell my stuff. And she'll never ask me to sell it, because she knows how much it means to me to have those things and the things I work for. Because in a way, you work a job, you work for them. You work for them, you worked your way up for them. Whether it's through here, there, everything you do is your work. And you giving your work away is like giving a piece of your business, giving a piece of your life away that you've spent time on. And no one wants to give that up. I don't care who it is. So yeah, I mean, I think most people don't realize that. But then they're hypocrite for themselves, but they're not understanding that they don't do it. And there's some women out there that do understand that, just like you are. I'm not saying all of them do, but there are a lot of people out there that do understand that, and they're grateful for those people, because if you don't, for some kids, you don't have nothing. I'm not saying I'm one of those kids that I'm complaining about. I mean, there's other kids who are worse off than me, but doesn't mean that I can't turn around and help others with what I'm doing. And those are the kids that you want to help. Those are the people that you want to help. The ones that are lower in. I mean, people struggle. Even if you have everything, you can still struggle. So don't get me wrong. There's people that still struggle. We struggle, and we have a roof over our heads. We have things like that. We still have to struggle with food on our door and things like that. But that's why we're doing it a smart way, where we're figuring out where we can go and how we can do it, and what we can put back in the business, where it's less on me, and more on the business, and more on her, and less on her eventually. So, and less on our kids in the future. So, having something that I'm always going to go do, and I don't think I want to see myself retire from this channel until at least I'm old enough to know. And I could be 60 years old and still love this channel and still be on it. I think I would do that. 70 years old, I'll be a 70-year-old gamer. I don't care, because games go way beyond. They're not just for kids. They're also for adults. And as long as I have my eyes and limbs, I want to do this channel. And as long as I have the energy for it, I want to do it. You know, I think I want it in because this channel is not just opening a door for me to play games, but it's also opening a door to help a lot of people. And be there for a lot of people and remember where they're at. And yeah, I mean, as the older I get, the less I'm going to have
motivation.
No, I would say less people are going to probably watch me because I'm old, but...
Or probably because you'll just be grumpier.
That too, but at least having the kids in it and having still him being 10 years younger than me is still going to help a lot.
You'll get grumpier.
I hope not. No. Guys, I will never let this channel have any bad blood. If it came down to where I cannot physically or mentally do this channel anymore, I would let you guys know. I would never tarnish this channel before I left. But I would make sure that when I leave it, it has everything it needs to keep growing and still keep doing and still being pushed to the next level. Our videos want to be better. We were talking about this today. We don't want our videos, we're not stopping. We want to make sure our videos are better than the next. Better than the next. Better than the next. And we're trying so hard. But we still haven't found every P's and Q's yet. And we're trying to wait for that. I know this game's taking so long. I know we were planning on doing Jump Force in January, but we may have to start doing Jump Force and this together because we haven't finished this game. So, we're still like 7 sagas away, so just remember that. But yeah, we're going to end it. I got to upload this channel. This thing, I'm just going to keep it on here. I'm going to have it edit it from there. And then you will see a thumbnail for it hopefully soon. Keep in mind, but yeah, we love you guys and happy gaming. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And I hope that you guys want to see this grow too, and that you guys help grow to it too, because you're going to have a special place in your heart too when you know that you did something for a channel that can help so many others. So that's the other thing we want to leave on to you too, is that you guys have some kind of recognition every time you buy one of those shirts. You're helping somebody. Every time you're putting your money into this channel, or you're watching this channel, even by watching or subscribing to your channel, you're helping it do something for somebody else who doesn't have something. And I know not everybody can help everybody because I know that time in the day, but it doesn't take that long to subscribe. It doesn't take that long to watch. Instead of watching a movie that night, watch this. You know, watch this. I know it can get kind of boring because we're grinding away, but some other games won't be that long. You know, some other games won't be like that, but we're praying that you guys just understand the value of what we're trying to do here. It's bigger than just playing a game and showing you guys a walkthrough and a guide. It's also showing you and giving back to the community that we can use this channel for other reasons besides ourselves. And that's the really, really, really cool part too, because eventually I'll explain in the video what my life was, and I think I'll have it with him because he needs to explain his too. It's deep, it's dark, it's really dark, and it's not something for kids. I would not recommend kids watching it because it would scare some kids. It will even scare some adults what me and him have gone through, or what I've at least gone through. I know for a fact. Would it probably even scare him? But we're alive. We're doing okay, and we're making positive lives. And if we can turn things around, how much inspiration can this channel be for somebody else? And we would love to hear from you guys. Email legendballgamers@gmail.com. You can email us there. Simple email, or just messaging us if you guys want to talk, or feel like you need guidance in somewhere. We're willing to give you that. I mean, it's not like we don't have it. I mean, I'm still guiding him, and he's still kind of guiding me in a way. So, yeah, I mean, I still have my friends guiding me. You're still guiding me. So it's a big battle. Like, there's a lot of people on here that I think there's a lot of other YouTubers on here that actually have a deep past as well, and they struggle with some of the same things that I struggle with. But at the same time, they're facing something, and they're doing it and turning around and good. So, you know, this channel is not just for me. It's for everybody I represent and everybody I walk through in my life, and those people that have been affected or hurt, and for the people in the future, the kids in the future, and the adults in the future that struggle, and for anybody who needs a way out, you know, to find a way. I mean, this channel is that big. It's going to be that big, and that's my goal for this channel. It's not to be a beacon of gaming. It's to be a beacon of hope for others, and show that hope as well. And at the same time, make sure I have a future for my kids. You know, because I don't have a lot to give, and if this channel can make that happen for them, great. So yeah, everything's going back in the channel, and everything's going back into the. I mean, some of it may go in our pockets later on, but it's only because we need to make sure our kids go to school, have school things. Maybe they need things that they need, like a car or whatever they need in their life to make their lives a little bit easier, to help them have a good life. That's what's gonna have to happen. You know, whether it means we get them a house so they have a house later on, so they don't have to worry about mortgage or whatever like that later on. We have it. We are waiting to get sprayed, so if you see a bug crawling around our room, it's not us. We moved in this cheap-ass apartment, and they are just really lagging it on saying they bombed their room twice before we moved in. So that's why there's a lot of like white walls and really bad cameraing, very bad lighting and all this other stuff. It's a lot of things that need to be fixed in this apartment. So we're fixing it, but eventually Texas has its own laws, so that kind of pretty much put more restrictions than California, and doesn't really defend us or protect us at all. And pretty much they can pretty much rent you a room that is complete chored up and not have nothing working in there and say it's completely good because you signed a contract. So, and they don't have to show you the room beforehand. So that's where we got screwed. We didn't see the room until we came in here. So just know that we just have a really bad second landlord, and every time I try to find out who owns this damn place, it's a mess. It's a single web. So keep that in mind. But I would never do that again to this family. So that's why I want to kind of get the warehouse, and eventually we get a house for ourselves that the kids can eventually have. So, and we want to pay that full off in cash. We're not going to sit there. We're going to let the channel pay it off in cash. But yeah, there's a lot that we want to do, and we want to grow the channel in other ways too. So, even is traveling in RV or whatever. So, there's so many things we're going to do that are going to make these channels, or make another channel as well to kind of grow that channel as well. But we plan on having two different channels, an RV channel later on for RV, right? And then having this one for our main company. That way we can travel and show the girls a little bit more of the world, so they get an outside world better view and have more fun. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is helping our fans, our family, and my creativity, my gaming, even though it's not the greatest. His creativity, and he can do whatever, I don't know what he wants, but he wants to do a lot of things too. So this helps him as well to just do whatever passion he wants to go into. And I'll let him speak on that. But other than that, it's late. We'll talk to you guys, I think Wednesday. I think this channel will be up for today, and that'll be it. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have him back, and he can kind of go through his things if he's comfortable with it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Happy gaming, and we are Legend of All Gamers, and see you next time. Thank you.